Is 2026 is now called the year of the cabbage.
Expectation.
Okay.
Ruby ball.
It's affordable.
Yeah.
Versatile. It helps with gut health.
Yep.
Right? So you think of things like kimchi and sauerkraut. Talk about that.
Look what came out.
Hey.
Dun, dun, dun.
Burberry. Cabbage is the star of their latest campaign. It's the snow moon.
That's Snow Moon. That's a space station.
You know what?
The Helpful Gardeners, the podcast that digs into the buzziest plant trends and news you need to know, regardless of your growing zone. Colin is a skilled horticulturist with decades of growing experience across Canada. Brandi is the greenest of green thumbs with a love of asking questions. Welcome to our garden nook.
So about a week ago, we had this big event in Calgary, the Northern Lights.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see it?
I saw it come up and I was too tired.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. You saw it come up. I am like the opposite. I am on my Instagram and I always see it after it's done.
The next morning when it's Northern Lights everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm like, I have a baby. I am up at 2:00 in the morning. I'm not on my phone though, because I just want to get back to bed. However, if I knew that there was the Northern Lights, I would have been up and looking for it and all these kinds of things.
Little shout out here, follow the Weather Network.
Okay.
The Weather Network, that's where it shows up. So I'm scrolling and they're like, Northern Lights visible this week. And then you click on the link in bio or whatever, and it tells you where it's visible.
See,
so
we need more of that, like a forecast. Here's what's coming up so that you don't miss it. And one of the things that you actually sent me was the full moons are coming up.
Yeah, the lunar eclipse. And there was the full moon, the lunar eclipse. I love seeing all of that. Don't always do anything with the info, but I'd rather have the info and choose not to do something than find out after the fact.
Yes, exactly. Yep. I almost feel like I have so much FOMO because I want to see cool stuff, right? Do you remember when we had that full moon episode? And we were talking about moon cycle gardening and all that, which, by the way, we're going to link that in the show notes below. So be sure to check that out.
Because I was doing my impressions of the
exactly.
various animals.
Yeah, you'll get to hear that. It's great content. And then you sent me the forecast of all the full moons for 2026. So what's cool is that you can actually put this into your calendar and then go and see them because they all have really cool names. The one that's coming up this Sunday is the snow moon.
That's Snow Moon. That's a space station.
You know what?
Obi-Wan Ben Kenobi shout out.
There you go. But you remember how in that episode we were talking about the blue moon?
Yeah.
Okay, so I stupidly said, oh yeah, the blue moon always happens at the end of the year. It does not. No, I learned something new this year. It is actually the blue moon is on May 31st.
The blue moon is the second full moon of a month. That's what they call the blue moon.
Yeah, so the last blue moon took place on August 19th, 2024.
So August 19th. So this year it would be in July.
This year it's May 31st.
Close.
I literally just said May 31st. Are you still hung up on your joke?
That's Snow Moon. I didn't hear that.
Right over there. But I'm going to post the full moon schedule over on our show notes. So go to goldenacre.ca/podcast and you'll get a whole list and you can pop it into your Gmail, your Apple calendars, all of that good stuff. And then you won't miss it because that's not what we do on the Helpful Gardeners.
No, we don't.
We're not like the, Aurora Borealis forecast that tells you 6 hours later and then you've missed it. So anyway, I thought that was kind of a cool little tidbit to throw out there. Something else that's forecasted is 2026 is now called the year of the cabbage. Okay,
I saw the year of the horse, but
I know
the year of the cabbage.
The year of the cabbage.
Who decided that?
So, Pinterest did.
Okay. Okay,
So it depends on how much weight you give Pinterest. But they kind of look out certain trends that you're going to see, right? And I thought this would be a cool thing to bring up today because everybody's planning their gardens, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you want to think about planning to plant cabbage in your garden. I've never really given cabbage much thought, but
I'm not a cabbage eater, so
well, a lot of people are searching up things like, have you heard of cabbage noodles? Cabbage Alfredo?
Nope.
So people have been taking cabbage, cutting it up like noodles, cooking it, and then putting Alfredo sauce on it. And apparently it tastes really good.
I would try it. I'm not a cabbage fan.
No, but I mean, there is a reason, kale and cauliflower have been really trendy for the past few years, but
cabbage, I wish I liked it because it's so good for you.
Well, yeah, it's affordable, versatile. It helps with gut health.
Yep.
Right. So you think of things like kimchi and sauerkraut and that kind of thing. So Pinterest has been seeing a big upspike in people searching for cabbage.
Interesting.
So much so that Burberry, cabbage is the star of their latest campaign. There's literally like this picture. I'll pop it up on the screen. I actually don't know who this is, but literally popped a chair in a cabbage patch and said, "Here's the Burberry." So it's kind of interesting how cabbage has become a trendy little thing.
And my dad used to grow cabbage.
Yeah.
They're, from what I understand, they're not hard to grow.
Okay.
They're pretty resilient. They're pretty cold hardy.
Mm-hmm.
They are a major attractant, though, for certain caterpillars and bunny rabbits.
Oh, so what would you even do? Can you do anything?
If you're having a problem with stuff like that, like we've said before, blood meal netting, physical barriers.
Yeah.
I know my mom and dad used to enjoy cabbage, and my dad used to grow it every year.
I have seen a lot of recipes popping up lately that use red cabbage. So like bang bang chicken bowls, that kind of thing. So might be worth a shot. Even Brad, who's celiac, using a lot of lettuce buns. So maybe we can make some cabbage buns instead. I just thought I would kind of look at, maybe you're not convinced, and that's totally fine.
I'm not convinced. I'm part of the episode.
I thought I would look up some seeds for cabbage. Remember how last week we were talking about seed names?
And on that as well, can I do a sneak peek here?
Oh yeah, let's talk about
the new West Coast seed catalog. I'm willing to bet they have cabbages.
Yeah. So I'm on Mackenzie Seeds.
Okay.
They've got just a couple, actually. They've got the early Copenhagen market cabbage. And then they've got here's an interesting thing. Listen to this. The early Golden Acre cabbage.
Well, okay, that's the one. Obviously.
Cabbage is very pretty, actually.
I mean, beets, broccoli, cabbage. Oh,
there
wow.
we go. Okay, what kind of cabbage names are in West Coast Seeds?
Tiara Organic.
A tiara. Ooh,
Charmant.
Like what?
Charmant. It's Charmant, but I'm giving it a French accent. Expectation.
Okay.
Ruby Ball. Copenhagen. Ruby Perfection. Dead on Coated. China Express. I'm just going to move on.
China Express.
Bilko Organic.
Okay.
And there's more, but that's, so they have green cabbage, red cabbage, and Napa cabbage, which is su choy. I think cabbage is pretty. I don't have I don't cook anything where I'm like, oh, I need cabbage.
But do you think if something like Pinterest were to say, give you some inspiration, would you try it just to be like, hey, this is something new, or you're not one to get on the trends?
It's not that I'm not one to get on the trends. I have no problem with trends. Like that episode we did earlier with the pine cones. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like I'm all about learning new stuff and doing new stuff. It's just, you can do whatever you want with celery. I don't enjoy celery. I don't enjoy it raw. I don't enjoy it in soups. I don't enjoy it in casseroles. Yeah. It's got one of those flavors. You know that we all have those foods, or maybe not all of us, but I know a lot of people do because I talk to them, where if you really don't like something, it doesn't matter how mixed it in is or seasoned it is, when you take a bite, you can pinpoint where it is. Mm-hmm. You're like, ugh.
Yeah.
So that's me in celery. So I don't care if it's trending. I don't like it enough to do anything with. Now, if somebody's like, I'm calling this the year of the grow the cabbage to feed it to your neighborhood bunnies, I'd be like,
hey,
okay.
There's nothing to say you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should take the hit. Maybe I should grow the cabbage, and then everybody tell your bunnies and your butterflies, if they're looking at laying their eggs, go over to see Colin.
Oh, there you go.
I'll just grow my garden for somebody else. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I mean, what if I also told you that it wasn't just Pinterest?
Okay.
That Vogue also, various food influencers, a lot of health influencers are talking about it. It's interesting how there's this shift towards more conscious eating and cooking and that kind of thing, which lends very well to gardening. I think it's kind of cool if you're looking at a whole bunch of like, I don't know what to grow this year. Yeah. And then you could be like, oh, cabbage Alfredo seems kind of interesting.
Well, and it ties into what we were talking about last week about gardening. What's your why?
Yes.
What's your why? And I want to do a new trend.
Yes. And also you could even take it further and be like, I want to subject all of my friends to cabbage Alfredo.
Yeah.
And then you make all of the ingredients to make that. Like I saw this recipe for garlic sauteed cabbage. You know, when we're talking about bloom scrolling, I feel like this is right up there. You know, you're kind of scrolling through and then you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then you kind of get all wrapped up into it and you're like, I'm going to grow the cabbage. I'm going to harvest it. I'm going to do like the whole like life cycle for this one thing.
And the thing is as well, if it's something that you're on the fence about, you don't like it or hate it.
Yeah.
It's going to make it forefront, but then it might give you more inspiration to include it because so again, thanks to my dad growing it, I always loved kale. Okay, kale, I always enjoyed it. I like it raw. I like it in a salad, baked, in a smoothie. I like kale. So I don't need much of a push to get there. But kale did absolutely, like, do you know what vegetable a few years ago, I don't know if you remember, got a huge blow up, like its PR went through the roof, was the Brussels sprout. I don't like Brussels sprouts. I put them in smoothies just because of all of the health benefits associated with them. Like they are one of the healthiest veggies, apparently. You cook Brussels sprouts and put them on my plate, they ain't getting touched. But then people started like parboiling them and cutting them half and frying them with butter and bacon and doing crumbled bacon on them. Or
like crunchy salads. I've seen that a lot.
And Brussels sprouts got this huge PR blow up to the point where Jenny and I went out for supper one night and I was like, oh, I'll order this. And I ordered it and wasn't listed in the ingredients, wasn't anything. And on the side of my plate was Brussels sprouts. And I was like, flick them off one by one.
No.
But I was like, wow, like they're including them as sides in restaurants.
Totally.
So I find like things like that can absolutely give something a push. And maybe if you're on the fence, you suddenly get inspired and you go, oh, I want to try cabbage Alfredo, or I want to put it in my smoothie, or I want to try a bok choy in a stir fry or a soup. Yeah.
And you know what's interesting too is I was looking up, like, you know how there's this kind of movement towards smaller space gardening.
Yep.
Cabbage you can absolutely grow in a pot. So say you had just a balcony or say you only have an inside space, like you could definitely try growing cabbage inside.
Cabbage, the traditional cabbages, they stay tight.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
But have you seen those huge cabbages?
Oh, the ones where like that episode we did on the giant pumpkins. Yeah. When people grow the
cabbage. Oh.
Something interesting, actually. Speaking of that, so last year I grew a ridiculously large kohlrabi, and my sister loves kohlrabi. She probably gets more than I harvest for myself. And there was one, and they were all in the same patch. They all got the same food, but this one was just coming out of the gate. It was growing, and I was like, oh, I'm going to push this one. So I kept pushing it, and when I harvested it, of course, I took no pictures. Must have been like close to a volleyball size.
What?
My sister weighed it, and I think it was like, I can't remember, 3 kilos or something. Like, it was huge. And we were laughing about it. Like, oh my God, you like kohlrabi? There's one that'll last you a month. What she said was, it was good. The regular sized or smaller ones were 10 times tastier and better.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm like, probably spent all of its sugars growing. Kind of not as flavorful or good, but it looked good, and I was pretty proud of it. So,
yeah, exactly. I know. Maybe you just leave one and to grow that big. And then,
I did because it was doing it itself.
And the other ones you just leave kind of little.
And then I decided to not document it and share it with you. Or
You know what, though? I think a lot of people can probably relate to that. Try growing cabbage. Put that into your game plan for this spring and growing season. I'm also going to pop the Pinterest Predicts 2026 link in the show notes below and on our show notes at goldenacre.ca/podcast. You can check it out because the cabbage crush wasn't the only sort of trend this year. You know, there's things towards, have you heard of Wilderkind?
No.
It's animal aesthetics, delicate touch. It's butterfly wingnail art, fawn freckles, forest magic, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Throwback kid, opera aesthetic.
Oh, okay.
Cool blue. So if you're looking for like a trend for your for your
blue.
plants. Yeah.
Cool.
There's not a lot of blue, I think, but like, the pansies have a little bit of blue or something.
And also there is a lot of blue as long as you just go by the name and not the color. Oh, that's blue. It's purple. Blue.
Hey, the blue moon.
Yeah, blue moon.
There you go.
There you go. That's something that's blue. Also not blue, but that's cool. We can move on.
So go and send us a comment down below and see if you're going to be incorporating cabbage, or if you were like, what? Why cabbage? X would have been so much better of a choice. We'd love to hear from you. So pop it down below. Go and visit us on Instagram at The Helpful Gardeners Pod and let us know there as well.
This podcast is brought to you by Golden Acre Home and Garden. Find seasonal inspiration for your home and garden in Calgary, Alberta year-round. Visit goldenacre.ca. Helpful gardeners on this show are our own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Golden Acre Home and Garden. For more information on everything we covered today and to leave us a voice note, visit goldenacre.ca/podcast. The Helpful Gardeners are on Instagram at The Helpful Gardeners Pod. Keep on growing, gardeners!